And they say you don't call on Google Hangouts, you don't breathe into the mic, you don't go respond to those work emails, and you don't mess around with Jim. Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Brooklyn. We're back again.
We are back. Guess
and this time
with the brand new snack.
No. I am not getting flagged on.
Oh no, we lost him.
Dude,
you were doing so
that
good.
Shit. This is going to be great. My internet just flashed in front of me, so yeah, this will be fun.
Well,
luckily, we only have a very small panel today.
Yes.
We were supposed to have Kirk Kolakowski on the episode. Life got in the way. We're sorry to hear that.
Yes.
So it's going to be a 3-person panel today.
Well, I was sad because I was going to make the joke that like when we started this group, who would have thought that the Pittsburgh Pirates was going to have the best record of all of our 4 teams? Did anybody? Who had the NL Central being the best division in baseball right now?
Here's the thing, Brooklyn. For the last couple of we'll get into music real fast. For the last couple of years, the Pirates had a hot start and then just cratered. So let's not be like, oh wow, in April the Pirates look like a team to beat. Well, you know what? With that being said, let's bring the guy on who actually knows about baseball.
Cody, we don't have a baseball show, so this is my excuse to like just talk baseball.
This is over the wall.
Yeah. 2 of us so strong. I mean, speaking of baseball, you ever fire 6 coaches in April after 27 games? Well, the Red Sox also last year swept the Yankees and went on a 5-game winning streak, and we traded Rafael Devers. We are literally the most unhinged franchise that has ever existed. We're literally like, you can leave. And when we let them leave, like that's supposed to be like, you can leave, and they actually leave. It's kind of crazy.
And then they throw those 6 coaches into a van from Coaches for Hire.
Yeah, like we would be the last organization to teach a PR class ever. And then we have to do a press conference the next day in front of an Orioles banner after we won 17-1 the previous day. It's hilarious. Chad Tracy, new head coach. And then 2 coaches on April 28th have been fired. Rob Thompson and Alex Cora are both out, and both teams have made the playoffs the last year, and they're both gone. So it should be fun. But you're welcome, Philadelphia, because we basically gave Big Dick Dom a wet dream. He's like, Cora's available? Bye, Rob. And then Cora's like, I don't really care about baseball, man. I like my family, man. And then that's where we're at. So fun times.
Man, that bus that Dombrowski hired to push the Topper in front of must have been expensive.
It was the bus that Cora was on when he was leaving the Orioles park. No, I think it's funny that we're on a music show, and I'm a consistent voice on this show that I know the least about music, but I always show up for my boys. So I just want that on the record.
Yeah, Cody, this is why in terms of like our guests, it's like Amaru, Bill, you. In terms of just like, who are we going to contact that will actually show up? So
yeah, Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore right here. I'm going down. I may not go down with any championships, but man, I was in the Hall of Pretty Good. I'll tell you that much. I was in the Hall of Pretty Good.
Cody, what did you bring today?
Oh, dude. The problem is, like, when I'm on this show, I'm like, oh, man, I'm on the show. I need to show my musical chops. I need to, like, what do I grab for these guys that they haven't heard of or they haven't, listened to that often? And I kind of
heard a single song from this album.
There's a little guy named Billy Joel.
Tell
Kind of an indie artist.
Who?
Kind of an indie artist. Yeah. And then in like 1977, same year Star Wars released, he like got in the lab and put out a song, album called The Stranger. It's no stranger to me, but let me tell you, banger after banger after banger is throughout this. I think some of his favorite songs are on it. So I was like, I don't think these music guys know much about this album, so I'm gonna let them listen to it and experience it. So that's what I brought. And I had to pick an album because the greatest hits is apparently fucking sacrilegious, disrespectful to all. So you know what? Concept album. I want a flow. I want everybody to understand what it means.
I'm going to stand behind Cody real fast on this one. We have let a greatest hits album on this show before.
Yes.
Thank you.
So he's not the first person to do that. We set the precedent before. He's allowed to do that.
But I kind of respect. I don't remember the guy's name, but I kind of respect him and Dylan because they were all like, that was one of the last ones that you guys had 5 on, I believe, right?
Yes.
Which, you might want to go back to 5 because you may only get 4 or 3 to show up. At least you have a buffer. But all I'm going to say is, I understand like the greatest hits thing. Like, it's like letting an all-star team into the Hall of Fame. Like, you get to pick all the greatest stuff. So I get it's fair to bring on, but I shouldn't be like expecting it to be a Hall of Famer, like, because it's got people from all different eras. So I respected the decision, and now, I had to go back to the album. Well,
and now the next inductees into the NBA Hall of Fame, the 1992 Dream Team.
Yeah.
In the Basketball Hall of Fame, they're probably there.
They're probably already there.
They let anybody in. They let anybody in there. You touched a basketball, played a lot of you, come on in.
Hey, this was the Gatorade kid on the 86 Bulls. Congratulations.
He hit that 1 3-pointer in game 82. Hall of Famer.
He hit that half-court shot and got everyone free tacos. So
you know what?
Yeah.
As somebody who has actually been to the NBA Hall of Fame, I was glad that they got that there was like a thing for Gary Payton. That was the person who I was like, I'm glad, because like he was like one of my favorite players that never played for the Raptors. Just like a massive shit talker that backed it up.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Brooklyn, what did you bring to the table today?
I have been waiting a long time to bring on this artist. This is our first live album as well. This is Home in Halifax by Stan Rogers.
Is he Canadian?
He might be.
Brooklyn doesn't normally bring on Canadian artists.
No, this is new waters for me.
I brought on the album by Eric Church, Mr. Misunderstood, a surprise album that was released, I want to say it was like back in 2015. Kirk had brought on Cosmo's Factory by Creedence Clearwater Revival, good old-fashioned swamp rock. And the people this episode, you chose The Low End Theory by A Tribe Called Quest. So The Low End Theory, production-wise, focuses mostly on the low end, bass, percussion, all that stuff. It released in 1991, around the same time that Nirvana's Nevermind was released. And there was another, I wish I had written it down, but there was like another like legendary album that got released around the same time as those two. Yeah, Google that up. And this is considered like one of the pillars of albums in hip hop. I knew a couple of the songs. Like I knew Jazz. We got the I knew Scenario because of that legendary Busta Rhymes verse. But I didn't really know a lot of other songs from the album.
I found the album. It's actually an album that we reviewed on the show, Pearl Jam's 10.
That's right. Great time for music, apparently. Unless you ask Cody, who's probably just doing that because Jack Pinchuk likes that album. Agree to disagree. But
Sorry.
so I got to listen to this album a couple times before the recording, and my first thought of this album is this is kind of up there with Hounds of Love and Breakfast in America in terms of other albums we reviewed for this show, in terms of just the production alone. The sound engineering on this album is incredible. Every instrument is crisp and clear and well balanced. The vocals are like pushed to the front, but in a way that it doesn't take away from the instrumentation. So just from a production standpoint alone, this album's incredible. I also would like to say that Phife Dawg and Q-Tip are two of my favorite rappers ever. They're both kind of, in terms of their flow, they both kind of come off as fundamental. It's like da 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 da. But every once in a while, they'll add like that little flourish to their flow that keeps your ear focused and interested. So I think that in terms of their ability to just keep your interest and their lyrics, I think that they're just two of the greatest of all time. There are some really strong pieces on here. Excursions that opens up really does like a great storytelling kind of open. Show Business really dives deep into like the ugly side of the hip hop industry. Check the Rhyme, Jazz, we've got Scenario. There's just like little moments on each and every one of them lyrically that have like just like vivid imagery and just like well phrased rhymes. So I think this album's kind of incredible.
Yeah, there's no kind of about it. This album is definitely incredible. So the last time that we had like our friends and I went out to a dinner, and we went to this final bar, a bunch of records in the middle. You can throw on music while you wait. I threw on this album because it was there, and I'm like, this is cool because I knew that Scenario was on it, and some friends that I was with wasn't really sure about it. I'm like give this album a chance, get to the very end, and there's a like the Busta Rhymes. Like it's an incredible introduction to him. But like Tribe Called Quest definitely has that calling card of we are going to be founded on bass and drums, usually like an upright bass, and that drum kit is just incredible. And then kind of like everything else they add is just different ways to kind of make their songs sound different. I think it would be fair though to say that to a casual listener, if somebody like just kind of threw this on for the first time, where like some of these songs kind of sound the same, but I think that's also a strength of theirs because they mastered that sound, they mastered that flow. Q-Tip is one of those few rappers that they could like he could rap the phone book, and it just sounds great because of that production as well. I love the little moments as well where they cut out the drum and the bass so that they make you pay attention to the lyrics in those moments, and it kicks right back in, and it just keeps things fresh. Other thing I want to add, Arsenio Hall gets a lot of love on this. I think he gets mentioned like 3 times in this, and it's like that's just like a sign of the times, like where he had, because he had that big talk show around the time. There's like 3 songs on here that for Tribe Called Quest fans, I think they would say that they are their favorite. Bugging Out, Jazz, Scenario. I liked Excursions. I really like the jazzy kind of sax in between. That kind of really defines like that East Side sound. That was very prominent at the time. Butter, I really like the synth and like the dreaminess and the lo-fi. Rap Promoter is kind of funny because it's about like riders and stuff and like all those and whatnot. infamous date. Do we say? Yeah, can we say that? I don't know if we could say that other.
We can technically say it. No, actually, YouTube covers that actually. So
yeah,
we can't.
Infamous date, third word. I think when you look at the lyrics, I think it's very dense, and like I want to go back to it because like I'm not like 100% sure like what it's all about or like the particular stance because it's kind of a bit all over the place. But there is because like when I initially think of a Tribe Called Quest, they're very like vibey and like you have a good time. But then like when you get through this album, like you get to like show business, rap promoter, verses from the abstract, check the rhyme, everything is fair. Like there is some substance that they do want to talk about, and I did appreciate about that. Check the rhyme was the song that I had to check my phone because I love that moment. Like you on point tip, you on point five. Like that was such a great like pump up moment.
Oh, their back and forth is incredible.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is. And then yeah, like the sample and everything is fair, is good. But yeah, like yeah, of the classics, I know like last episode we had an incredible classic album, and that's kind of hard to beat. But I think this is right up there.
Cody, I'm very, very curious. Out of all the albums, this is the one I've actually been the most curious about your opinion on. So, what did you think?
I just love that you guys made me go last because you guys spouted off a bunch of shit that I'm not going to say. Overall, I didn't love this album. I didn't hate this album. I was kind of indifferent with this album because I was on the feeling that a lot of the songs you said it was a strength. I kind of found it as a weakness that they sound eerily similar. And how do I put this in the nicest way possible? There's something about early rap.
We're past the nice at this point. You know, we're here for the hot takes.
Perfect. There's something about early rap that sounds goofy. It's the best way I can come off of it. Because and I'm not
where you're coming from.
5 years ago, before this album gets released, I think you have a point, but I think this is kind of like in the transition because like NWA, I think hadn't quite come out yet. When did Straight Outta Compton come out?
I want to say that was 89. So
yeah, okay. So then disregard everything that I said.
So
Cody has a point for like early 80s stuff.
You can feel the progression, like where some verses are in that goofy range, and then some are sounding like something you haven't heard before. So tonally, it seems mixed to me at times on certain songs and certain ones. Like, I mean, not to the point where we're gonna like talk about songs. Like I liked it seemed like based on the looks on like what's the most popular from this album, those resonated more with me than the other ones. And like Bugging Out I enjoyed, but there were still those I felt like every song there were just moments of like learning to rap different is the best way I can kind of describe it, because like you get into a creature of old habit of like sounding goofy in different aspects. And it wasn't like it's not goofy, but it's like I think it's just still like learning the craft is the best way I can describe it. It was like that was the way that they grew up listening to it, so they were in that way. So when you're not a strong rap listener in general, when you go and you hear other stuff later and you go back to this, it seems, how do I put this? Your father or your uncle or whatever, but like they don't make war films like they did back in the day. And then you watch a war film from back in the day and be like, brother, I know Pearl Harbor's a bad movie, but like that made war seem a little bit more attainable than what you're watching right now. So it feels like
there's nothing like Donovan's Reef.
It feels just cheesy at points. And I think it also hurts that a lot of the songs sound very eerily similar. So then it's just like, Am I listening to a new song? Has it transitioned over? Are we on to something different? And I felt like that was a detriment for me on this album. But overall, like, I didn't regret it on. There was not a song that stood out that I'm like, that. I need to go back to that. And the problem is I know it's well received. So like, uh, shocker, I'm in the minority. Like, I know that and I'm fine with it. It's the role I play, but I'm like, I wanted to like it more than I ended up liking it.
Cody, don't feel bad. I had this exact same situation with the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Praise to the moon and back. And I listened to it for the show and I kind of went, okay.
That was
I
like
don't get it.
Yeah, that was like me last episode with the Clips album. Everybody was like, "This album is incredible." I'm like, it's good.
It's how I feel like the general public feels like when a movie wins Best Picture. And the general public goes and pops it on like, this one fucking best. Have they seen Ted? Let me tell you, like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck do you mean this is the best picture? So it's like, it's kind of like that, and I feel like that a lot during music, because you'll hear people, but this is like, it's such, music is probably even more diverse, like more difficult to predict like people's liking than movies is, even because like there's a whole group that could listen to a country album and we can be like, this is the greatest country album ever, and they're like, I fucking hate country, fuck this album. Like, what do you mean? Didn't you hear I don't give a damn, that banjo made me want to kill me. So you know what I mean? So we're in that situation. So I think you're running a hard risk, because that's what I tell everybody. When you're growing up and everybody tells you the Beatles are the greatest band in the world, and you listen to the Beatles, I'm like, what the fuck are these Brits talking? I don't give a damn about them. Like, there are some people out there like, these suck. And you're like, you're factually wrong, but music is so hard to get your central taste on that you could also think the Beatles suck.
That's also going to happen when the first song that you introduce by the Beatles is something like Octopus's Garden or I Am the Walrus or something.
Well, those people should be taken out back. Like, if you're the person recommending and you don't do like the Let It Be or like Come Together, just go kill them. Like, they're dead. Like, you ruined everything for them.
Here, kid, here's your first Beatles album. It's the Magical Mystery Tour.
Dude, as somebody that grew up on very surface level Beatles, and then I watched Across the Universe and Mr. Kite, we're gonna have a ball, and the whole like trippy scene. I thought I was hallucinating. I was like, I thought this was a Beatles music. I'm like, buddy, you did not know Beatles were like real like into this shit. And I'm like, okay, there's more to the Beatles than Hey Jude. Like, we're screwed.
I wanna hold your hand.
Yeah, there's like the
Take
Beatles
some
rock
shrooms
band
and
game.
come on my submarine, baby.
Chronology, because like they have so many different eras. They're like, at the start they're like, oh yeah, we're just like a teen pop band, we're gonna play some hits.
You ever try acid before? Let's go, baby.
Yeah. Hey, I found this instrument called a sitar. It sounds pretty cool.
And I wrote a song about an octopus.
Yeah, we're gonna hang it right here, right on the refrigerator.
Oh, wild. So yeah.
All right.
Sorry, I derailed everything.
No, it's fine. Honestly, having a 3-person panel, that's the best thing that we can do.
Yeah.
You brought the right person on.
Yeah.
All right, let's just get into ratings. Cody, how about you go first? Give us your score, your favorite and your least favorite.
So rating is between what again? Like what? Where do I
1 to
work?
10, but you can do like a 9.75, an 8.5.
We can do bullshit.
I was waiting for this to come up so
we
that
can.
Cody can do the rant that he does every time. It's like, let's have regular.
We do the bullshit. Andrew got his way. It's his show, so he's able to do some bullshit. Okay. I'm probably sitting at a 7.5. I'm not gonna go lower because like I think it would be rude to judge it at like a different at a range that is low, and I just don't truly believe, even though it's not my cup of tea. Like, and I think it, but I could definitely see the roadmap what it created for others from this album, and other people probably got some inspiration from this. And I mean, the Buster Ride, like that stuff is pretty cool. Favorite song? I liked probably the best was Jazz. It felt the most different of all of them personally. I also, the Bugging Out would be pretty close. I was not the biggest fan of Butter.
Wow. Okay.
So I don't know how that felt and how that resonated with everybody. You're muted, Brooklyn, just a heads up.
Yeah, sorry, I could see that.
But yeah, that's just that's just where I land on these two.
Okay. Brooklyn.
Butter's Barr's favorite.
No, I'm giving it a 9.25. This is, yeah, I think this is deserving of a 9. The sameness, while great, I think just kind of puts it out of that like other albums that we've had on here where it's like this is incredible. My favorite, to the surprise of nobody, is Scenario. I think that's where they maximize their sound. The drum kit in particular, I think is kind of going at a full 10. And it kind of matches everything that's going on. I love the what's the guy's name? Brown, Charlie Brown. I like his feature. Just the variance of everybody in that song just kind of makes it work, and like the gang vocals as well, the ad libs, and we've already talked about it. The Busta Rhymes. I'm like when we were revisiting this song, I was wondering because it's eerily kind of similar to Old Dirty Bastard, just dialed down a little bit. So I'm wondering if there is kind of influence off of each other. My least favorite is Vibes and Stuff. While I kind of like what it's about, I don't love the ending of where Q-Tip is kind of rhyming off stuff, he's kind of doing a Flava Flav sort of bit, and then during the song they have echo at the end of the line, so the last word of every line kind of gets repeated, and that just kind of gets gets a little annoying for me. But yeah, this is a pretty good time.
Quick little thing about Scenario. I forgot I wanted to mention this. When they originally recorded that song, everyone already had their verse done, and then Busta came in with his, and it was so good. Everyone went, whoa! I'm rewriting my verse. I'm not getting outdone this badly. So that's one of my favorite stories when it comes to lyricism in hip hop. So I'm giving this a 9.7. As I said, I think the production is incredible. I love a lot of the lyricism on here. Fife and Tip, they're back and forth. Amazing. My favorite originally was Jazz. I even put that on our Like 500 Stones list. But the more and more I heard Check the Rhyme, the more and more I thought that might be my favorite one. Because everything just works perfect in that one. My least favorite is What? Because it felt the most preachy. It could have been separated into 3 separate interludes placed throughout the album, and it may have actually worked better that way. So Brooklyn, what does that bring the cumulative score to?
Actually, sorry, I got to adjust that because it got a lot better. It is it's top 3 for the season right now. 8.816 repeating. Not quite as good as Let God Sort Him Out, but a little better than Marquee Moon from Television.
Okay. honestly, though, I don't know how anything's going to top the Luther Vandross album, considering all those scores. So
there's one.
All right,
Doctor
top
Strange.
3.
There's one.
All right, with that, we're going to move on. We're going to move on to another album that constantly name drops other music artists, "Mr. Misunderstood" by Eric Church. So I brought this album on. I remember when this album came out, I already knew Eric Church because of Springsteen and Beer in My Hand and Give Me Back My Hometown. And then this album dropped only for his fan club. It was strictly limited to members of his fan club. This got mailed directly to, essentially, as well as he has an app for his fan club that you could have listened to it on. And it was dropped out of nowhere. There was no buildup. There was no announcement. It just kind of dropped overnight. And I was like, God damn, I need to listen to this. So I signed up for the fan club, listened to the album, and was like, this album's fantastic. Most of the album for me has stayed with me throughout the years up until this point. And I was like, you know what? It's time to bring it to the table. And in terms of past albums we've talked about, this is on a very similar level to Sports by Huey Lewis and the News and Crimes of Passion by Pat Benatar, in terms of it's like roughly a half hour, easy, breezy. Every song works really well. Some songs are absolutely better than others, but in terms of just a straightforward listen through the album, it's super enjoyable. Nothing, as I said, nothing too like boundary pushing, but it's just solid songwriting, solid performances. There's that kick-ass guitar solo on Mistress Named Music. I love the pianos on Mixed Drinks About Feelings, like that descending like piano line on there. I blanked on her name. I want to say it's Susan Tedeschi. Also provides Susan Tedeschi also provides vocals on that. Rhiannon Giddens is on Kill a Word. The women's vocals on this are just absolutely fantastic. I love the constant tempo changes on the title track of Mr. Misunderstood. One of the better storytelling songs I've heard in a while. Knives in New Orleans being an outright never says what he actually did to get him being chased down on the cops and being on every TV being like, this man's wanted. It's murder. It's probably murder. But yeah, no, this album is just kind of amazing song after amazing song. Super easy to listen to. Highly recommend it. It is, as I 39 minutes. So I was very happy re-listening to this one.
Cody, you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
Are you gonna shoot it, or are you gonna be good with it?
I'm here. I'll go first then. I am weirdly nostalgic for Eric Church. Like, do I think this album is incredible? No. But did I have a good time? Yeah. Eric Church has a charisma to him that like it's not like the best country music, but it takes me back to like the middle school bus and like the country radio station was on, and like maybe I didn't hear these particular songs, but there's a sound that just takes me back to that time. I like there are some influences here that I expected, and then there's one that kind of threw me off guard, and I was like, that's kind of neat. I like it reminds you a lot of like Willie Nelson in his twang and his voice and whatnot. Brad Paisley as well, that like arena rock country-esque with the guitar solo.
I'm just watching Cody as you say all these.
I know he loves my comparison.
If you keep fucking saying shit with no backup, I'm gonna lose it over here. I just hear Willie Nelson and Eric Church in the same breath because I'm gonna vomit.
Yeah, I mean, no Willie Nelson, but like you can tell who he's inspired by.
He even name drops Redheaded Stranger on Record Year.
Yeah, and I'm inspired by Donovan McNabb, but I didn't get to the NFL. All right, what are we talking about here?
Just let me get to the last one.
Is Eric Church the Donovan McNabb of the music industry?
Bro, I have some things on this album. I need to go ahead.
Okay. The last thing I'll say before we get to Cody, I liked Knives of New Orleans. But in particular, I like when he like kind of lets himself go on the mic, because it reminded me of Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20, similar vocal qualities. And it's just like, I'm not saying that he's the same as Rob Thomas, but it's like I want him to explore that avenue more, because he's, for the most part, pretty soft and subtle on these, with the exception of like Chattanooga Lucy, and then Cody, you say something, and then I'm gonna say a negative-ish thing.
Okay. There's no shot at Eric Church, but I can't hear Eric Church's voice and think of his music without thinking of Bo Burnham doing that. Wear a bunch of country boots without working a day in my life. Like, you want motherfuckers want a key change? Listen, I drank more hard liquor to drink in my hand back in the day than any human being should have. Okay? That was my anthem. This album sucks in the best way I can possibly put it. Listen, I would argue on this panel right now, I listen to country music probably more than both of you.
That is correct. On
a regular. I don't venture off a lot. If it's from the 60s to about the early 2000s, that's my country. Probably earlier too, but like that's my range. There was a moment around 2010 where Luke Bryan and Eric Church and a bunch of people took a 12-gauge shotgun and shot the genre that I love. I don't know how it happened. I don't know where it happened. Probably one of my favorite Garth Brooks probably was the inspiration to kill it for arena rock, and created these mega stars that took good country music was all about, not about glitz and glamour. It was all about the storytelling in like the simplest form. That's why I like country music. I like catchiness. I love the goofiness of it at times. Eric Church just doesn't have that catch ability for me on any of his songs ever. Like it doesn't fit. It fits like to me in country music, he feels like the last puzzle piece on the board, and you're trying to get it fixed, but it's a part of a different puzzle. And he is fucking trying. And it's because I understand, because he got some shit way back in a while, because he came out and did his own performance. Like he wanted to venture off of what he was and go to something different and do like he didn't want to be the drink in my hand guy anymore. He didn't want to be
when he released the Outsiders album. Yeah.
He wanted to be the people he inspires to be, right? Like
Bob Seger, Billy Joel.
He wanted to be Nelson. He wanted to be those people, George Jones. He wanted to be a storyteller through music. The issue is I just don't think he had, and it's not even the vocal range. His vocal range just doesn't fit in country because it always feels like he's trying to still do arena country for me the most time. I'm sitting here the entire time just because again, there shouldn't be an easier just plug and play like him and country music. That you don't have to get me on board with country music because I'm there. I'm with you. And there's a few songs that I actually like. It was fine, but I never got over that one hump that I needed to go to like care. And like I love bringing country music on. It's just when there are 4 else albums, and I was with all 4, and the country music album was at the bottom, was just seems completely weird. It like out of place. There's a guy that talks for 4 songs, like just talks through shit about stuff that I don't know jack shit about, but he's talking about it, about Alberta and shit that I don't care. And I was I was hooked in on that stuff more than Eric Church, and that's the problem that I have with Eric Church. He has a few like his most like, but even then, I stay so far fucking away from mainstream country at this point that I don't like his most popular ones. I don't even know. Like I have no clue like what they were. Or I think the last one that I ever remember rising is Springsteen, but like even then I just don't even link. I don't link with that one either. It's
so funny you mentioned that. Sorry.
There's one song off of this album that charted relatively well, and it was
Record Year. Then that makes sense. It does fit that. It does fit that like void a little bit, but like just maybe it comes off like he's trying just too hard. And again, he doesn't have a bad vocal. It's just something that there's certain actors that just have a punchable face. There's certain stuff that you just can't get past. You just like it's just something about him that just I can't get. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. Eric Church is always him and Luke Bryan have always been one. And granted, Eric Church is 7 billion times more talented than Luke Bryan.
Okay,
I'm not saying I'm not saying they're on the same camp. It's those 2 guys I just can't ever like get behind. I've gotten behind Zach Brown, behind Luke Combs, even Wallen at times. Like their songs, I'm like, all right, I can click in. I know. These 2 have just always been ones that are like at an arm's distance and I can't get past, and I don't know why. I truly don't.
May I?
Yeah.
So while I was listening to this album, because I'm in the Springsteen camp. I think Springsteen is his best song, and it is an incredible song. Like it was on our list, and deservedly so. But admittedly, as soon as this album finished, I put on Springsteen because I was like, I had to remind myself, like he is an incredible artist when he wants to be. But like when you guys were mentioning Record Year, like I couldn't tell you what the lyrics were, but I can hear like that nasality when he does the chorus, and it's like that's where like that like where the nostalgia goggles come on for me, where it's like I know it's bad, but like I'm still having like a fun time with it. But
can I just tag team on you because I didn't know how to put my words into it. That's the problem. I listened to all these songs and I had everything, and I couldn't like a lyric couldn't pull back. Anything couldn't like. It wasn't like an instant like draw to like because there were songs from Brooklyn's guy, which I would say is the lane of country that I like. I wouldn't say he's 100. I'm speaking out of turn. I don't know if he's country or not. But there was stuff that like grabbed me by like lyric choice that I'm like, cool. This just felt like it was made made by a studio, and I don't think that's true. But that's the vibe I got from it. Like it felt like it was like needed to because I literally went back to Drink in My Hand after this because I was like, he used to be fun. Where's the fun? And I'm like, okay, this song's still kind of fun.
So I want to bring this up and see if this kind of clicks for everyone. The original intention of this album was to be a collaboration album. He had like 20 songs written originally. he and his team had sent emails out to people like Chris Christopherson, Bob Seger, Billy Joel, all the people that he loved, and was like, hey, let's make an album about making music. And that kind of all fell apart. And he kept 10 of the songs and turned it into this album. So I don't know if that kind of like clicks into place of why it kind of like sounds this way for everybody.
Bring better artists in to do better. I would agree with that. That would be a better take.
I mean, I can't lie that the 3 people I named are better. Like what do you want me to do there?
Well, I hear this all the time when I listen to music. Like, he was inspired by this, or you can hear it in this. Like, the amount of people that I've heard that are inspired by James Taylor. Yeah, good. But I'd rather listen to James Taylor because I don't know what you're doing, but you created the same, but the reason James Taylor works for me is not because of like his lyric choice is great, but his delivery is also what really works for James Taylor for me. So it's like, it's great for inspiration and stuff, but like, I don't think there's a Joel like on this regardless. I don't know where Joel would have fit.
It's probably one of the 10 songs that got cut.
Well, yeah, but I'm trying to look and like, sure, Seeger, like I could see Seeger on maybe something on this, but like, where are we at? Is it going to be that? It's up in the air. And again, I don't. This is not trying to bar pick him because you guys have like loved that Casey Musgraves that I just don't get at all. Like, it's just not my cup of tea at all.
I love her.
I get your
everything after that's kind of
but I get your guy. Like, we have different tastes and stuff. It's just Church is just not my guy, so it's just unfortunate. He's just misunderstood to me. Just really is.
Boo! Boo!
That's a Brooklyn joke if I've ever.
All right, let's wrap this up. That's a perfect way to put a bow on this one. I'm gonna go first.
We have a clip for the TikToks.
It's a solid 8 for me. As I said, it's not anything that's necessarily pushing the boundaries. It's just great songs and songs that are really like breezy but good. One more thing I want to mention before, I did love the play of words on Holding My Own, where it's kind of like I'm out here holding my own, but then it's also about him like literally having his arms around his family, holding his own. I thought it was cute. So it's an 8. I think it's kind of easy and breezy. My favorite song, there's 3 songs on here that I still to this day put on like multiple playlists because I genuinely love them. Those being Record Year and the title track. But my favorite song is Mistress Named Music. There's just a quality to that one. There's just a quality to that one that, it sets a really good tone. And then that build up to that guitar solo, I think works incredibly well. My least favorite is Kill a Word. I like the playfulness of it, what it's doing, lyrically speaking, but the corniness is just a little too much that it does hold it back just a hair. Brooklyn, let's go to you next. You are muted.
I'm trying to be careful because my keyboard is right by the mic. This started at a 7.5. And then as we were talking, I was just kind of going through the track listings. It's like, does this qualify at a 7.5? But it's like the best of the 6s. It's a 6.95. It's because I'll do my least favorites first, because I think 3-Year-Old is maybe like the not the strongest closer of the one, and like a bad a bad time to compare closers, because I think everything else is incredible. I don't like, I'm nostalgic for Record Year, but I don't think it's like I don't think it's a great song. It's Mr. Misunderstood. it's from a lyric perspective. I thought it started out as a great story, and then it just kind of got lost. And he's like, "All right, well, where
does he get lost on that song?
I don't like the ending of it. Like that, how much I love Call and Answer. That was like there was a missed opportunity to add depth to it.
What the fuck are you talking about?
My favorite was going to be Mistress Named Music, but my honorable mention, because you said it was your least favorite, I'm just playing devil's advocate at this point. I love Clearwater. I love the drive of that drum. I think it's just very satisfying. And it kind of fits the sound that he's going for. But you can't really go wrong with like Mr. Music, Chattanooga Lucy. I like the wordplay in Mixed Drinks About Feelings. But I would argue that's he's kind of like the backup role in that one. But yeah. Come at me. Clearwater is my favorite.
That's fine, but to say that Mr. Misunderstood lyrically goes off the... I legit don't understand where that's coming from. Okay. Cody.
5.0. I tried. Best. I think the most that sounded like Church on this for me was Round Here Buzz. I felt like it got closest to Church on that aspect. I think Kill a Word is arguably one of the worst songs that I've ever listened. It does that horrible thing that country singers do all the time, that they kind of make punny music. And like I'd pull and I'd beat regret. Like shut up. Like I get what you're going for. It's horrible. And Chattanooga Lucy is arguably one of the most painful songs. I listened to it once, couldn't get back to it. That's one of the, if I had to put hey, what's wrong with modern country? You throw country Chattanooga Lucy. I get what you're going for, buddy. Stop it.
I'm sorry, Sam Hunt exists, sir. If you're gonna point to what's wrong with modern country music, you point to Sam Hunt.
Okay.
Sam I believe Hunt I described him as spoken word bullshit.
No, we're not doing Sam Hunt because who's bigger, Church or Hunt?
Hunt
Church. Wishes he was Church.
It's Church.
I don't think Sam Hunt has ever been up.
Road is bigger than any song Eric Church ever released.
That's not true at all. Springsteen is 100% bigger than anything.
Springsteen never hit the top 10 and stayed in the top 10 for 4 months.
All I'm saying is who has been up for Entertainer of the Year? Sam Hunt has never even sniffed the award. So
I believe he has actually.
No way. Look it up.
I'm looking this up right now.
Entertainer of the Year at the CMAs? I doubt it.
While you're looking this up, I believe William Shatner made fun of one of these two artists, and it wasn't Eric Church. That's saying something.
Okay, I don't consider Sam Hunt even in the same ballpark. He's bad, no. Don't get me wrong. I also think Florida Georgia Line has done worse for country music than Eric Church.
Agreed.
But I'm saying Sam Hunt is not Entertainer of the Year. He hasn't even sold stadiums. There's no way.
There was a band at work a couple weeks ago that played Cruise that was in their set list.
Oh, you turn off their mics.
Well, listen to this. This is the same band that also had Jump Around, Lose Yourself, and what else did they have? Oh, they had I Was Made for Loving You, and they're like a Celtic rock band.
Sam Hunt has never received Entertainer of the Year. Thank you so much.
No. I mean, I thought he was nominated, but he wasn't.
No way. So. That's what I'm saying. Like, Sam Hunt has done, but Eric Church has been up for it 5 times. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Church is the modern guy for country music right now. Sam Hunt has picked has horrible songs and probably got those teeny bops to trend it really high. But I'm saying, like, Who has
got the
more
Gene
influence on country right now?
Milestone
It's
Award?
Eric. Yeah. I don't even know what the
Sam
song you're
Hunt.
talking about, but I think it's horrible. What does he do? What's the song?
Oh, body like a back road.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That
that's
guy
the
should have gone and
that's
see the
why-
rabbits. Like
That
That's why I
song
didn't
and
talk on.
house party.
hey,
we can
better
get-
segue. What's this album's point total for
Yeah, Brooklyn.
It's not the worst album of the season. It gets a 6.65.
Is it just below the Blake Lewis album I
it's
picked?
just above the Blake Lewis album?
what's the worst album?
Audio Daydream.
Audio Daydream by Blake Lewis,
by
the other
American
album that I
Idol
brought.
contestant. Yeah.
Gosh, this is why Brooklyn should have won like 500 stones. Like I'm just saying, like man has better taste than you. It's just how it is.
Hey,
So-
season 1, I had 3 of the top 5 albums.
Yeah. Coho had the worst album of season 1. I had the worst album of season 2. Currently, Andrew has the worst album of season 3.
He has 2 at the top. He has 2 at the bottom too, right?
The 2 bottom 2.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Barr and then
Barr.
and then Jay.
Is this my first? Is this my first appearance of season 2?
Yes. The first appearance of season 3.
Can't wait for the stranger to come up. Let's go, baby.
All right. Well, let's get into the album that Kirk was originally going to bring on, Cosmo's Factory by Creedence Clearwater Revival.
I can go first on this one if you want.
Yeah, you know what? You go first on this one.
Yeah. I was actually talking to my dad about this album. I had it on while we were driving on Easter Sunday. And we were kind of talking about it, and surprisingly, he wasn't a fan of it, and I was very surprised because it's like when I think of dad rock, CCR is like one of those first bands. I think arrangement wise, this is like kind of bonkers in the best way, because Ramble Tamble is like the most eccentric of their range. It's very prog rocky, and it has that jammy bit. Like it's a 7-minute song, and I was like, oh, cool. Like I know some of what's coming up ahead, but this is like a really cool opener. And then you have like Before You Accuse Me, Take a Look at Yourself, which is like a blues standard. Unfortunately, like I know that one from Eric Clapton's Unplugged album, and I like that one better. But you can't really like do that song bad. But I would argue from Looking Out My Back Door to Who Will Stop the Rain, that is quintessential CCR. Like if you want to show anybody, like other than Have You Ever Seen the Rain, those are 5. Like here's CCR in 5 songs. I like Who Will Stop the Rain in particular. I love the subtleness of it. I love the harmonies. Very, very soothing. My Baby Left Me, because there's one instance in particular where you can tell that these guys like grew up on the 50s. My Baby Left Me, I think, is the best example of like taking that influence from the 50s, but also incorporating their own sound into it. I know we've talked about it on the show before, but Run Through the Jungle is like just like I call it like bayou rock, that like very like swampy, like you're on like the, what's that boat called, like with the big fan on the back?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, you see it on like
Fan Boat.
Fan Boat. Yeah, I see that every time that song comes on. And then yeah, we're talking about like tempo changes, Looking Out My Back Door. I love how that ends. It's just it's a very like graceful sort of ending. And then you want to talk about great closers of the time to pull out the ballad card, Long As I Can See the Light, is great because it doesn't sound like anything else on the album. It has the saxophones for the first time. And something I also wanted to kind of mention before we even started, these are like 4 very distinct voices and one of the greatest songwriters ever. I don't think he has like a very distinct voice, but yeah, each one of these ones, you could, as soon as you pop on to hear the voice, like, oh, I know exactly who that is.
You don't think John Fogerty has a very distinct voice? Sir.
No, you didn't hear what I said. You didn't hear what I said. I said 4 distinct voices, and then one of the greatest songwriters of our time. You don't know who I'm referring to.
Shut up, Eric Kirk. It's called an airboat, by the way, is what you're looking for. I Googled it for you.
Okay.
Yep.
Cody,
I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen. CCR is incredible. Probably not the album I would have went with. I do like this album.
Would you go with their greatest hits album?
Most likely. Because I've been working behind the scenes a little bit, like what would be my like favorite songs of all time, and I'm pretty close on in the top 5 is like Have You Ever Seen the Rain, as like one of my favorite songs of all time. But like
same with me, it's my favorite song of theirs.
Oh, absolutely perfection. But Brooklyn is 100% right. There's a run in here that if you just need to describe what CCR is, it's that run. There is a song on there that I've never listened to before that is arguably one of the worst songs I've ever heard.
Baby, I think we have the exact same opinion.
I think we're all
in agreement. We have to be in agreement. If not, get out of here.
3, 2, 1. This shit. 3, 2, 1. Ooby dooby.
Yeah. That just
okay. Good.
Yeah.
Dude, the coke was hitting hard back then, brother. They were. I stopped. Like, I almost pulled over my car and was like,
"Dude, what song?" So early onto the album, too.
I was like, "What song did just enter this album that is not a part of this album?" It's crazy. I just think. I don't want to consider this may sound like it come off as an insult, but it's because I love CCR, so they can handle it. I promise. They're just so chaotic, right? Like it feels like some songs are just not like they're just like I don't feel like a rhythm to it, right? Like it just seems like picking out the band and just playing what comes in and just having fun together. It's what it always seems like with CCR. They can go slow, they can go high, they can go all over the place. They can just go, and their voice are just so distinct. And it's like they're like even the songs that like Proud Mary, I heard it through the grapevine, songs like that have done by other people. There's something just so like warm and welcoming of a CCR version of any of this. Like. You pick any song in the world. I don't care what it is, besides like maybe rap or anything, but any in that genre. And if I could get a CCR cover of a song, I'd probably take that cover of CCR cover of that song than any other song. Because I think they just have his voice is so unique.
Except for Ooby Dooby.
That just doesn't make sense. But like,
yeah. Sorry, Roy Orbison.
It's just so much fun. Like they're just a super fun band. And I really wish I was Kirk because I've talked to you guys at nauseum about this. Like, but like there are just some that I even like don't listen to that often, but like look out my back door. I just had so much fun with like just listen to it over. And then I don't really like remember Run Through the Jungle, but that was also just like a lot of fun with it too. And then of course like my uncle's ringtone back in the day was Up Around the Bend, and that song is just like instant like yeah. But your dad not liking that's a little that would be what's shocked with me too, because like I thought the approval rate of CCR over the age of 30 has to be like 92%. So like it seems weird. You're muted, so I'll just wait.
Well, I bet the tally. There have been 2 instances where I have put on music with my dad, being like, "Oh yeah, like this is old stuff that I've come to enjoy. What are your takes on it?" It was CCR and Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd, he's like, and the rest of my uncles too. They're like, "Yeah, like we were just never Pink Floyd guys. We were always Led Zeppelin," which fair, but like nothing wrong with Pink Floyd.
When you have both of those available and you have to pick a side, just seems like a weird stance.
Yeah, like both are good.
Speaking of Led Zeppelin, that's what Ramble Tamble actually kind of reminded me more
Yes.
of.
Yes, precisely.
Just like a swampier version of Zeppelin. And in a lot of cases, kind of better. I'm sorry, Led Zeppelin fans. Don't come at me.
John Paul Jones is
No, please come at him.
one of the best bassists of our time. John Bonham, one of the best drummers,
greatest drummer of all time
to ever exist.
Sure.
Robert Plant is like a high A tier vocalist.
He's a good vocalist.
Yeah, Jimmy Page is good.
He's good.
Yeah, he's good.
When he's not stealing blues riffs off of blues artists.
But that rhythm section can't be beat.
That's fair.
There's one drummer that can beat John Bonham, and he has passed away. That is Neil Peart of Rush.
Oh, okay. Glad you went that way because I can kind of agree. However, not the point here. I had the chance to buy this album, like a vinyl of this album, and I didn't because I had to choose between this and You Don't Mess Around with Jim. I decided to pick You Don't Mess Around with Jim. This album does have some of the greatest songs of all time on there. Run Through the Jungle, Looking Out My Back Door. That 5-run song minus My Baby Left Me, but that's still a great song. I've come around more on their cover. I've heard it through the grapevine. I still think the Marvin Gaye version is the better version. Brooklyn, I'm sorry.
Can you not break my heart like one episode?
I'm sorry. I just sat through getting shit on for like 10 minutes. Let me have
welcome to my life. Anytime I bring on like an indie Canadian artist.
Fair. I said the Marvin Gaye version of I Heard It Through the Grapevine is the better version, but I've come around more on this version and really love it. The one problem I have with this album, aside from Ooby Dooby, is the production. Like, CCR infamously put out 6 albums in 2 years. So some of these are kind of rushed, and you can tell production-wise. It's a little too swamped out.
They're very emotional based. Like even when you hear the story of Fortunate Son, it's like a senator's son didn't have to go to Vietnam, and he was so pissed that he wrote Fortunate Son in 20 minutes.
Right, that's fine. You can write a song in 20 minutes, but I'm just saying, like, the production on here feels rushed to a point that some of it's a little too muddy to me. Like, I have a really good sound system that things sound even better on. And this one still kind of sounds like there's like a haze over some of it. But that's only part of the album. It's not all the songs. It's part of the album.
I wouldn't even say a defense, but like kind of like a hear me out is so like this came out in 1970. I like when I think of like the guitar solo in Travelin' Band, I think of like the Kinks' You Really Got Me. That's like a very influential solo because like if you know the story about how they got that sound, they literally just took a knife to a guitar amp. And that's how they got that like very like muddy, distorted sound. And there's definitely times where they take that. But I think that's just kind of like a sign of it. Like, I'm not gonna say that phrase anymore. It's very of the time.
Well, that's fine. But Abbey Road was released a year before that.
But they're not going for Beatles sound. They're not going for that like hard.
Well, Beatles kind of went for the CCR sound with Come Together a little bit. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying the production on this album does kind of hold me back a little bit, especially when I just listened to the Low End Theory and how well that album is produced, and The Stranger and how well produced that album is. So that's my biggest gripe with the album. Otherwise, a majority of these songs, like 90 to 85% of them, are some of the greatest ever made. So, all right, let's wrap this up. Brooklyn, how about you start us off? No, actually, no, you're going next. So, yeah. Cody, you start us off.
Least favorite, we've already said, An Abomination of the Ears. Listen, I can literally say Up Around the Bend. I can say Who Stopped the Rain. I think those are pretty much right there. And I could look out my back door. I really like Traveling Band, and I don't believe I've heard that song prior to today. Which, let me tell you, that was such a polar shock to the very next song that plays. Because I'm like, ooh, I'm really enjoying it. What the fuck is this? Yeah, somebody that had, I don't call myself a completionist of any of this, but like, I was pleased to go through the album and check stuff out that maybe I listen to occasionally. But Traveling Band surprised me the most. It seemed like they were having a shit ton of fun on that song.
Okay. I'm going to go next.
Cody, do I need to get my score? Do I need to get my score? Yeah. Barr's an idiot and made this. I can do any points I want. I go 8.89.
Okay.
Listen, if that song's not there, it'd be a 9.89. So full point off.
I'm actually super close to Cody. I have it at an 8.75. The production mainly being the one thing, the other thing being Ooby Dooby, fuck that song. I'm sorry. My favorite song, though, is Run Through the Jungle. It's legitimately one of my favorite songs of all time, even though it's not my favorite CCR song, which just kind of speaks to their craftsmanship. Brooklyn.
I am giving this an 8.4. Kind of like what you were saying, Andrew. The production definitely kind of hinders it at times, but I wouldn't say it's like a true weakness. Yeah, Ooby Dooby is just cookie cutter 50 stuff, and that's just not for me. I'm not going to veer off from what I know and love. I Heard It Through the Grapevine is my favorite song on this album. I love the build that it has. And I think it does a really good job of volume control, especially when you get into that jamming session and the drums. The drums, you can just hear the inflection when they're hitting the cymbals and whatnot, and the bass and the guitar when he's hitting that one little riff, and it just ever slightly picks up in tempo, and then like just the main riff itself just reminds me a lot of like Ginger Baker-esque Cream, like pop punk drummers love the shit out of it because of the floor tom and whatnot, and it's very reminiscent of the 60s.
Yeah, Doug Clifford is one of the more underappreciated drummers in my opinion.
Yes, probably. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'd say he's the best member of Cream.
No, Doug Clifford. No, Doug Clifford is the drummer for Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were just still talking about Ginger Baker. But yeah.
All right. So
sorry.
A favorite song. Oh yeah, you were into that. Yeah.
I'm into that. Yeah.
Yeah. So overall score.
Sorry, I messed up something here right quick. I just gotta fix that. 8.68. So that is just in between, so not quite as good as Marquee Moon, but a little bit better than In Case I Make It by Will Wood.
So top 5?
Yeah, top 5.
Okay, that sounds about right though.
Won't be there for long.
Okay, Brooklyn, we're going to yours next. I know you've wanted to talk about this guy for a while now.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start with this.
Okay.
On like 500 takes,
Mm.
we spent months preparing the list, doing the math. I thought that we did it flawlessly without any errors. Cody, I have a confession to make. We did make one error on this. There is a song that got omitted.
You have two songs from the same song, but two different artists. That's bullshit.
I know. We forgot. Yeah. One song got left off due to clerical error, and it was on this album. So Stan Rogers is very personal, very passionate choice for me as I just upload the album. So if I could describe Stan Rogers to people who have never heard of him before, he's like if Jim Croce was here and Bruce Springsteen was here, he's kind of right in the middle. He is a very blue collar sort writer. If you're familiar with the area, it's a lot of island and shores. So fisheries is fishing is a huge industry here, farming as well, and that's very prominent on this as well. I don't think it's quite like this is a live album. So this was released in 1993, but it was recorded in 1982. He passed away in 87 from a plane crash, I believe. I'll have to double check that right quick. But that's why I compared it to Jim Croce, because he died in a similar fashion, and people remember him the same way that Americans do remember Jim Croce. There's a festival, I think it's in either September or October, that's literally called Stanfest, that literally celebrates his music. A bunch of artists come together and whatnot. I think there's a few tracks on here that don't quite classify it as a greatest hits album. I think if you're going to have a greatest hits one, you need to have like Northwest Passage. You need to have Down in Fogarty's Cove. I think those are the big two. But his voice is what keeps me getting people, particularly in this community, but just anybody outside of the Maritimes, to like, hey, check out this guy. I think he's just a prominent figure in maritime music. You start from the beginning. Blue Nose. I think Blue Nose is similar to Ramble Tamble, where it stretches what he's kind of known for. I think the strings in that, it's very eerie, which you don't really hear a ton of that in his music. You get to like Field Behind the Plow. I love that song. Like one of the first songs that I learned to play on guitar. It's very like, I've described it as like the family's over for Sunday brunch, and you just kind of have that on in the background. I love the arrangement and what it's about. We have alluded to it. I think we maybe alluded to it earlier in the show, but there is, like, because it is a live album, there is a little bit of dialogue, and there are some funny moments in it. I love the Shriner Cows bit, where he talks about like them going into the hotel, and then Stan goes up and he's like, "That was the hotel manager said that was one of the most well-behaved, intelligent Shriners meetings that they ever had." And it's like when you're a songwriter and you're doing a live concert, like you have to be able to like tell some sort of jokes in between. Just to kind of keep the audience alive. I got worried though when we got to Morris dancers. I didn't know what Morris dancers were, and then when one of the band members mentioned San Francisco, I was like, "Oh shit, is this going to be like a Don't Meet Your Hero sort of thing?" But then I looked up Morris dancers, and I'm like, "Okay, like it's fine. It's something like it's very accurate to what they describe it as." But like The Idiot is like a great sort of like B-side, I would say, to his discography. I love the 1-2 punch of Lies and Free in the Harbor. I think they are similar songs, but one is in like 4/4, and Free in the Harbor is like this nice, like kind of waltz. Then then you get to so 45 years. That was the song that got omitted from the top 500 list. That is one of like 3 songs that I first remember hearing. And when I pick up a guitar, it is one of the songs that I can just play from memory. And it's that ingrained into the lore here in the area. It's very.
What song missed out?
45 years. Yeah. It's beautiful. The Mary Ellen Carter, this one is just a little bit different from the version that I brought on for like 500 Stone. This one's a little more upbeat, but you get the audience interaction too, and you get to kind of get to see the weight of the song. And I like the last line of that. It's my favorite line in music. Though your heart rise again, though your heart be broken or life about to end, no matter what you've lost, be it a home, a love, a friend. Like the Mary Ellen Carter Rise Again. It's just very, very motivational. It's very, very uplifting. And his wail coming on the end of that as well. Then you get Barrett's Privateers, which is this great sea shanty. It's actually like one of Stephen Colbert's like favorite songs. So it's always great that kind of made it down to American soil, and it's still being kind of passed around. But yeah, there's some other ones. I think it's is a giant. There's one of them that has like an Acadian-ish sort of fiddle to it, and whatnot. And there's a moment where he even kind of admires the solo at the time. But yeah, I will say as well that this is not a perfect album. I think there are moments on this where it's very like stereotypical kind of folk, like stuff that like Seth MacFarlane has kind of like made fun of in Family Guy and whatnot. But yeah, I've been waiting years to put this on so that I could rectify the issue that we had on like 500 Stones. But yeah, how do you guys do?
Okay. So
Hey, he's going to come out rude because we were rude to Eric Church. Don't take it personal. He's just a vindictive ass.
I've pulled the same stunt before. I'm kind of expecting.
I see his game. I see his eyebrows and everything. It's ready to go.
I've got big eyebrows, okay? They're not easy. I mean, they're not easy to hide. So when it came to listening to this album in like a critical sense, I had to keep reminding myself that this is a live album from years ago, before it was released. So that helped with it. There are a lot of really great songs on here that I had not heard before. There were also songs that you had introduced me to before, like 45 Years. And when I first heard it, I wasn't like in love with the Mary Ellen Carter, but now it's grown on me a lot. Like I caught myself kind of like with it stuck in my head at work a few days ago. It is a very, very strong album. There are Blue Nose, Lies. There are some really great written songs. The best part about it is Stan Rogers himself, because he has a beautiful baritone voice that he delivers with a lot of emotion. And I actually really liked his sense of humor. He was a little darker sometimes than I was expecting. So there was an intimacy to this album that when it came to like just like the way that it was crafted, the lyricism. You have said this before. My kind of music is small venue, live instrumentation, everybody kind of like huddled together and just listening to the music. That's what this album is.
Church.
Cody, don't poke the bear. He's talking
Curry steps
good.
back.
He's talking good of the album.
Curry steps back. Defender's face. Shoots over. Oh, it's a smash. Game's over. He's dead.
I still haven't forgiven you for letting his number one song of all time make the list, but fucking vetoing mine. So we'll see how The Stranger does. So Brooklyn, I enjoyed this album very much. Cody?
Listen, you do whatever vindictive thing you want to The Stranger. We all know the truth after the fact, and you have to live with whatever score you give The Stranger. I don't.
Oh, I'm very comfortable with the score I'm giving The Stranger.
Well, fun. So, Brooklyn, I need a few things from you.
Okay.
The Mary Ellen Carter you brought on 500 shows, correct?
That was his number one song.
That is still my favorite song.
And I enjoyed it back then, I believe. I was surprised by this song. I had no choice. Makes perfect sense because I felt like I was like back in the world. This album is awesome. I love his voice. His voice is incredible. His delivery is incredible. He's talking about like critical because it's live and all the way back then. I didn't give a damn. I hit the ground running with this album and go, no, do I think every song works? No. I think there are hidden shoes, like different things. But I was like, as soon as Mary Ellen Carter, I knew I hit that before. I was like, this song's so much fun. But it wasn't just that. There's a song on this album that literally I couldn't have downloaded faster and put in my playlist. And I don't know if it's going to be anybody else. But Make and Break Harbor is so good for me. And I don't know why, but it scratched an itch in my ear that just his voice and like the storytelling behind it and like the delivery. But Make and Break Harbor is just so interesting to me. I've heard the name Stan Rogers before. I never listened to really any of his music, and I don't know much about the guy or any other of his songs, but man, do I want to go on a deep dive on his music because his voice and everything just velvety is like the best way you can describe. Like there are voices that come along and you're like, I don't really give a shit about what they're singing about. I just want to hear them sing. Luther Vandross has always been one of those for me. His voice, he could literally just read the phone book to me and I'd be okay. I could listen to Stan Rogers read the phone book. I'm pretty sure. Sing the phone book to me, like, bring it on, buddy. Like, the only downs, I'll be honest, I skipped over a lot of the dialogue starts because I just didn't, that wasn't, like, obviously.
That's fair.
But just hearing, like, I started listening to one of them and just hearing him, like, to talk about stuff. Like, he's probably like, I always remember the story of Garth Brooks being pissed off at George Strait because Garth Brooks has to run around fucking stage, swing from the rafters, dance around, and fucking George Strait just has to stand up there with a guitar and just not move for 3 hours. And the crowd does the exact same thing for him that it does for Garth. That's Stan Rogers. Stan Rogers doesn't have to have anything extra. He just needs to be him, and like, his upbeat works, his slow stuff works, his like folky like running like the Mary Ellen Carter is just like it just feels like bar music is the best way I can describe, like what I would think of like an old Irish or old like country bar, like that, like sea shanty kind of music, and it just works, man. What a great pick! Like I was dreading it, to be honest with you, because I didn't remember Mary Ellen Carter when I was doing it, and that was way down the album. But it was song one. I was just like, let's go, let's go.
Oh, and what a way to end this album with Sailor's Rest.
Oh,
yeah, no.
He can put a bow on things.
Like that is one of the more unconventional ways to end this, like out of like a bunch of the songs, but it was the perfect one.
How you just don't have a smile listening to this whole album? It's just would be crazy to me.
Yeah, no, this is one like oftentimes when I'm listening.
Would you say this is the best album?
Was that?
Is this the best album that he has? Like,
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
Like his albums are kind of tricky because a lot of his hits are dispersed. So I kind of had to fine tune because I was like I could pick one. I could pick one that had like Mary Ellen Carter but didn't have 45 years. That would have like. Because there's times.
Is this like a greatest hits?
I was about to say, so it's a greatest hits album, kind of.
It's not. No, it's not. It's not his greatest hits album. I preface that at the beginning because there are songs that need to be on here that qualify it as greatest hits. But this is like it's taken as an excerpt from a concert. It's on him playing an album front to back.
Can you do me a favor? Find that's not on this album 5 to 10 songs that you think I should listen to from Stan Rogers that are not on this album.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I can do that. Perfect. I want to give 45 Years its flowers because we didn't really get to do that on 500 Stones. I really like the third verse in it, Alone in the Lights on Stage Every Night. I've been reaching out to find a friend who knows all the words and singing So She's Heard, who knows so all the stories end. Basically, it's like it's Stan
just how he goes.
It's Stan talking to people. It's Stan like talking like as the best performer, and he sees this woman, and like her smile lights her eyes, but honey, all I see is you. And then like the harmony of like I just want to hold you closer than I've ever held anyone before, and the word and like the rhyming scheme of like you say you've been twice a wife and you're through with life, but honey, what the hell is it for? It's very like 45 Years is such a romantic song.
This makes you guys will either like, what are you talking about or not? He's a deeper version of James Taylor for me.
Oh, yeah.
Does that resonate with anybody? Just how he does 45 Years, if you listen to it, if James Taylor had that deep voice that Stan Rogers had, that's why it works. That's why it's that vocal stem for me that just like, because when you just rambled that off, it's just so like he's cooking. I don't know. It's crazy. Sorry. Yeah, but 45 Years, you guys, that deserved on the list. That's a great song.
Yeah.
What was in this place? That's what I need to know.
It was in the 400s. It wasn't very high.
But it was it was one that we both had.
400s is still the way you're going
to because you didn't have Mary Ellen Carter, but you had 45 Years. So it would have been in that range.
Oh no, yeah, it would have been in the. It would have been in like the somewhere between 250 to 350.
Oh, yeah. And do you think that your song was better than Mary Ellen? Listen, there's levels to this bar.
Okay. This is why I need other people on the show. This is why Kirk needed to be here. Because I need backup whenever it's just the fucking two of you.
Listen, we all take our turns ganging up on the other. You guys have ganged up on me before. We have ganged up on Cody. Just Andrew, it's your time.
Have we ganged up on Cody? I don't know if we have.
It's like the Hulk with the little two guys jumping on his back. Just get the fuck off me.
No, you know what?
But Kirk, if you do happen to listen to this, like please let us know what you think about it.
I would love to know your thoughts on this.
Yeah. Because I definitely brought obviously I brought this on. It's when Cody was announced we decided he was going to be on. I'm like, all right, this is my time.
I rolled when you
dropped. This would pair really well with Kirk. Yeah.
when you dropped it, I rolled because I was like, oh my God, why do I listen to But then when it was like, oh my God, I've heard this voice before. And then I got to Mary Ellen Carter. I'm like, I know this guy. I've been here before. So yeah, perfect.
All right, let's get this started. Brooklyn, your score. Favorite and least favorite.
Okay. My score. It was an 8.4, but I really think it deserves a 9. It's whether or not I want to make it more. I'm gonna say I think a 9 is fair. I really think a 9 is fair. I'm gonna go with least favorite first. I'm gonna go with Night Guard. But I would also throw in contention to Workin' Joe and Giant because those are two songs that like I couldn't tell you how they go. But Night Guard is like they try to lean in on like that country sound with the electric guitar, and that's like a rare instance where I'm like, get the electric guitar out of here. That's not where your strong suit is. You need a guitar, a fiddle, and a bass, and that's it. Maybe a mandolin sometimes. But I think you're strong. But yeah, my favorite like. It has my favorite song on here, but I want to give love to Free in the Harbor because I love the arrangement in it, in particular in like the hauling away, because as the song progresses, the chords change on that line, so it adds this nice level of tension, and that's where and the wind makes free in the harbor. That's where I find it's there's a nice resolve in his voice in that. But yeah, no, I'm glad. I've been waiting for this moment for a while. And also, in particular, sorry, I want to mention this as well. The day that we are recording this is setting day here. So this is the day that all the lobster fishermen go out and put out their traps for the first time. So, yeah.
Okay. I'm giving it an 8.75. What are you rolling your eyes for, Cody? Brooklyn was about to give it an 8.4.
I was shocked.
Yeah, you don't know me. You think you know me. You don't know me.
Who do you think you are? I am.
Yeah, a little production things, but like as I said, live album that was released like years afterwards. So, my favorite song was "Lies." I had never heard that song before. And that one is like the one, the melody hit me, the performance hit me, the songwriting hit me. I don't know. I was making breakfast when that song came on, and that was like the perfect time for that. My least favorite, there are two songs on this album that I don't necessarily love. One of them being Giant. But the one that was my least favorite, Barrett's Privateers.
How dare you? You have never been
scumbag.
No, you're a
scumbag.
Andrew, debate rules. You're getting 30 seconds, and then I'm gonna destroy you. Go ahead.
No, we're not doing debate rules. This is my turn.
No, because well, like
fight.
Yeah, Gary, you go ahead, and then I'm gonna say something.
It needed something else. It needed like a fiddle or something else to just really tie it all together. It's not that it's bad. I just felt like this version, I've never heard the another version. I've only heard this live version. It felt incomplete to me.
Okay, so couple things that I will say. One, you need to be like in a pub, because this is a pub staple. Multiple bands play this song.
One time I was in my kitchen. The other time I listened to it, I was in my car. So
okay, yes. So
No problem.
when you come visit me,
I don't
I will
drink
make sure
alcohol.
that you'll get a proper introduction to this song. Because like the more people that are there, the merrier. There are other versions of this that do the same thing, but like there's one that plays at work that slows it down, and it's bad. Like they take weird pauses in between. The other funny thing that I want to say is that one of the bands that does this, like they have like it's a 3-piece band, so they have like the guitar, the bass, and the drums. I shit you not, they speed it up a little bit and they mash it up with Fat Bottom Girls by Queen. I swear it works.
I don't
Because
believe you.
they do
I
a couple
don't believe
verses and then all you hear is I was just a skinny lad, never knew no good from bad, and it fits. I didn't expect it to initially.
Nope.
But it works.
Still don't believe you.
Okay.
Cody.
By the way, great production, guys. That my album's next, and you made me go last to talk. I just want that on the record. Horrible.
That's
production.
pretty standard, though.
Well, horrible production because now my voice is going to be tired, but it's fine. I'm a professional. I can get past this. This is a 9.1. I enjoyed the hell out of this album. I already said my favorite one is Make and Break Harbor. So much fun. Giant is the one that doesn't fit on this album for me. It just feels out of place and weird. But I could also go with a lot of different ones like 45 Years, Mary Ellen Carter. I think Sailor's Rest is a perfect send-off on this thing. So there's a lot that you can enjoy on this album. And again, I rolled my eyes because I was like, oh boy, I have to listen to some Canadian shit. And then I was so happy to listen to Canadian shit. So good job, Brooklyn.
All right, Brooklyn. So what's that bring it to like an 8.9, 8.8, something like that?
Because you ruined it.
Top 3, baby. In between Let God Sort 'Em Out and Low End Theory.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's move on to the last album. The one that somebody was boasting is going to enter a very specific club. Tell us about this, underground guy that you were brought us, Cody.
Wake up, Virginia. Don't let me wait. Catholic girls start much too late. Okay, we're talking about The Stranger. Listen, this album is absolutely perfect. The run that is in this album, one, it's a short album, not super long, so it doesn't overstay its welcome. We start out with the Moving Out, which is so absolute fun. I think The Stranger title track doesn't get to the same level because you are literally Tyson, Ali, Holyfield. You are amongst like some of the all-time great songs. Just the Way You Are, as I think is a completely underrated song because again, it is also up there with Titans. And then 2 songs that I think are in could be up there as Hall of Famers, like First Ballad, almost unanimous, no questions need to be asked. Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, which is still my favorite story of all time. Showing this to a kid, one of my friends in school, and they're like, "Oh, it's so slow." Like I listened to the first 20 seconds. It's such a slow song. It didn't. I was like, "Did you get past the 20 seconds?" Because it's like he is a fucking madman with this song. And if you've ever watched Billy play it, even not if you couldn't be there live, but if you've seen a live version of him doing Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, let me tell you, it is absolute cinema. Vienna, probably his most relevant song to this day. I would play this for any high schooler about to graduate. I would play this for any college student. I would play anybody that thinks that, I need to do this, this, and this. I need to get this done. I need to be there. Slow the fuck down. Life will, Vienna will wait for you. Take your time. guilty pleasure, some will say. Some people don't like because of the subject matter, but I fucking love Only the Good Die Young. I think it is one of the best if I was redoing road trips, I would probably put Only the Good Die Young on my road trips list, because I have so much fun in the car singing this one. One of my
that's
favorite
karaoke
lines.
standard.
One of my favorite ones is like, did they ever say a prayer for me? Oh, Virginia. Like when he just kicks back into it. Yes, it's about a dude wanting to be late, but he's like, you're telling me I'm such a horrible person. But the people that are telling you this, they're holding you to the standard. Like, have they ever even worried about like me as a person? Like, just thinking I'm a horrible human being. So it's a lot of fun. And then She's Always a Woman is absolute just beautiful. Like he just, and then Get It Right, and everybody has a dream. It's just like, the way he constructs this album and puts it together, like, it is one of those albums that I just don't want to end, because I feel like I wish like he would have just stayed in the lab for an extra year or two and pulled out more things, because I think the prime Joel is around this range where he tries to reinvent himself later, and he goes into different realms and he tries different things, and some work, some definitely don't. Like Doo-Wop Joel is a whole thing. I still like have a lot of fun with it, but I think he is in his prime form. He is a guy that is definitely has some trauma in him, some angst in him, some religious trauma built into him. You can tell it through his songs. And like, anybody considers Joel boring or like it's like not fun, I just am so confused by it.
Hi, Bill.
Because
Yeah.
no, but that fits Bill, right? I get those viewpoints, especially at his age, like where he's at. He's probably 10 years older than me, I would say. Maybe, I don't know where he like fits, but like there was probably a time where Joel is like one of your dad. Like the only reason I got into Joel is because my dad loved Joel, and I was like, okay, I'll like Joel too. But the more I listened to the lyrics, dude was a craftsman. Like this dude was building like dominant shit. Like it's just crazy. I think Scenes is one of the most complex songs that I've ever. It is so many interesting elements in one song, and you give that talent that, hey, I want this in this song. I want this on this song. It comes out as a fucking train wreck. This song should be horrible. Scenes from the Italian Restaurant should be bad because of how much he throws at the kitchen. He throws everything but the kitchen sink at the song, and it is awesome. He's been asked like, what's his favorite song? He's probably said Scenes, because Scenes is like,
said that actually.
Yeah, he said Scenes because Scenes is the most, I think the most fun he's ever had putting a song together. I just truly do. Like he's got probably like Piano Man and all these other songs are out there, and yes, they are good. They are good songs. They are probably ones that stand the test of times. But I think it's people that don't, because you don't throw out Scenes in Vienna everywhere. Like I think they're so good, and I think The Strangers is one of the best albums ever.
You want to go first, or should I go first?
My voice is a little sore. You go first.
Son of a bitch.
I'll go last.
Okay.
I mean, I can.
No,
if you
no, I will. You rest up. You just talked a lot about your last album. What the fuck am I supposed to say? It's The Stranger. I mean, there's one thing I will say. Man, Billy's constantly one or two songs away from a perfect album. I do think that there's one song on here that I don't quite love, and it does hold it back just a little bit. Turnstiles.
I have an honest question for you.
Yeah.
Paxton still needs to be at the top of the key to hit the 3 for Jordan to win the game. Steve Kerr needs to be over in the corner to hit the game. They're not Hall of Famers, but they're on the table.
The NBA, they should be.
So here's my thing, and this is an honest question I have for both of you. And I know there's only 3 people, and we almost went 2 hours, so proud of all
which
of us.
is amazing. Yeah.
But here's my question for you. Sure, there's a song that holds it back. You can say, not a perfect album. But don't you think there are songs that that break the scale to a point that pick up for the not like the top of the top song?
Yeah.
Can I interject here? So when I listen to any album for this show, I get a little cynical when I'm listening to it. I'm like, all right, well, like maybe this one's gonna be the worst one, and I couldn't do that with this one because I got to like Moving Out, because Moving Out is my uncle's favorite Billy Joel song, so I love that one. Of the songs on this album, Moving Out gets played by a band here. Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, there's a duo that does it, and they do like a fine job of it. Somebody does Only the Good Die Young. I do Only the Good Die Young. That's one of my favorite songs to play. And then those are the ones. But I wish somebody did Vienna, and I wish somebody did The Stranger, because The Stranger and Sleep, and not on this album, but Sleeping with the Television On, are ones that I think would do incredible in a live setting.
So what's the song, Barr?
We'll get to it. We'll get to it in best and worst songs.
Yeah, you go, and then I'll finish.
Okay. I will also say this is still my second favorite Billy Joel album. I personally like Turnstiles better. I knew that
Billy would have walked out on you. Billy would have walked out. I'm just saying.
Turnstiles also has my favorite Billy Joel song of all time on there. Yeah. So, come on. Summer Highland Falls. However, like that 7 run of songs, Moving Out, The Stranger, Just the Way You Are, Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, Vienna, Only the Good Die Young, She's Always a Woman. 6 out of 7 of those were released as singles. And the 7th one has just kind of permeated the culture, even though it wasn't. Like, just the way you
and there's
are.
There's 9 albums. There's 9 songs.
Yeah.
And you just said 7 of them. That's what's crazy.
Right?
And
for 6 singles to come from one album and all 6 of them be bangers, that's crazy. Like, that never happens almost. Unless your name is the Beatles, that doesn't ever happen. So Just the Way You Are has this beautiful sincerity to it, and that saxophone is just the perfect touch on there. And then The Stranger has that like that kind of foggy night opening to it with the whistling, which comes back around at the actual end of the album, which is just like a great way to wrap it all up. Only the Good Die Young, as I said, it's a karaoke staple. When we did our top 20 Piano Men set list, I think I had Only the Good Die Young originally at number 2 on my list.
We need to do that again. It's been a long time.
Yeah. Plus my opinion has absolutely changed. So there's a reason that this is considered one of the greatest albums of all time. So there's a reason.
Yeah. So I didn't get into Billy Joel as much as I am now until I joined this community. It was mostly you and another person that made me do the deep dive. And like, it's like, this is his best. You can't like there are others that you can say are your favorites, when I was listening to this, I also listened to another Billy Joel album as well, just to kind of see. I actually threw on Cold Spring Harbor. I threw on Cold Spring Harbor one day, just to kind of see how he's grown. And it's also, that's a great nighttime album. If you have a kid that won't go to sleep, throw on that album. He'll be out in half an hour, and it's beautiful. But we're getting in, like, Just the Way You Are reminds me of like Michael Jackson's like She's Out of My Life. Like, they have the same tone in like the electric piano, and it's that same sort of like ballady, yacht rocky sort of deal. Vienna, Cody nailed it perfectly. If you're having like I can't get shit done, it's slow down, you crazy child, take the phone off the hook and disappear for a while. And it works. Only the Good Die Young, it gets the people going. That bridge and the sax solo in particular. She's Always a Woman. When we did that Billy Joel Elton John list, I remember that being high up, I think, for Cody. But maybe Coho as well. But I definitely have an appreciation for that, and he's tried to do that sound as well later with Lullaby, Good Night My Love, on I think it's on River of Dreams.
Yep.
But the last two on here, they're not bad songs. You just have to contest with the rest of the fucking album. Like, get it right the first time. It's a stretch. It's like Latin-y, but I still had fun with it. I love Everybody Has a Dream. I think that's a great closer. I will say though, hearing that like reprise of the stranger intro caught me off guard. And my question to both of you is, why not have the stranger be the opening track if you're going to end it with that? I think I understand why, because Cody mentioning this is kind of a concept album, and I guess Moving Out is like, all right, well, like that's the angst, that's him being like, all right, I'm done, I'm going out on my own. Because I looked up why they ended the way they did, and they couldn't really get a definite answer, but a lot of people are kind of speculating where the whistling and the piano are meant to represent two different sides, like the person that everybody sees, and then like your inner self. So I feel like that's when he's moving out, that's him discovering those two things. So I do understand in a sense why Moving Out is first and A Stranger is second, but I think if you have The Stranger first, then it's like there's nothing wrong with this.
I don't know if there's an actual reason. I do think that Moving Out is a better choice to open the album, purely because it fits the vibe of an opener a little bit better. But
on the show though, we've discussed that there's so many different ways to open an album. Like I think
sometimes you just know, and I think this is probably one of those instances where Billy was just like, nah, that's the opener. That's it. That's the sound.
I'm with Brooklyn. I think Stranger should be first in the album, but overall, I don't nick it. I don't take it down any notch because of where the placement is. I understand you two probably would do that. I just think I think Stranger then Moving Out makes a little bit more sense in like the theme that he is going for, because like kind of feels like a stranger, but like I don't know, it's kind of a situation that he's at. But he's definitely dealing with some issues in this album that are not to the surface, I would say, like just by his choices. Like I feel like there is no doubt why Only the Good Die Young follows by She's Always a Woman to me. Like I think like that's a clear, like there's something there. That's just what.
All right. Any last thoughts on this before we move on?
Last thing I'll say, we alluded to it earlier on scenes from an Italian restaurant, but when they do like the Here We Are waving Brenda and Eddie goodbye, and they the boom 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 boom, and you hear the strings come in, and that they bring back in that opening section. That is just like it's very satisfying to hear that moment. If you want to do homework on some covers, there's a group called Middle Aged Dad Jam Band. It's led by an actor who was in Wet Hot American Summer. I forget his name, but Weird Al actually pops up, and he has like an accordion solo, and it actually kind of works. It's not the original.
I'm Team Barr.
It's a cover worth checking out.
I'm Team Barr again. It took all episode, but I'm here.
Okay. Well, I had you for a good time, not a long time.
Oh, don't worry, Brooklyn. I'm about to lose it. All right, Cody. Your score, as if I don't know what it is. Favorite and least favorite.
Have you ever watched Varsity Blues?
Yes, I have actually.
Okay. There's a character named Billy Bob. And he goes to a strip club, and he sees his teacher up there stripping, and they ask him how would you rate it? I give it a 10, a fucking 10 is what I would give it. The Stranger's a 10. Even if I don't, there are not all like 100% where I go, but like if one's a 9.5, like scenes only the good that 7 run breaks the scales in a way that I just can't even justify. That Allen's in the 3. He hits the 3 in game 6 that forces the game 7. Like that's happening. And you know what? That's Stranger. Like that's fine. He should be the first placement, but I'm not going to knock it because Scenes is on this fucking, like the big 3 are there and I'm cool with it. I think it's a 10. I think it's an album. It's 9 songs and there's a 7 run in it. There's a 7-song run in a 9-song album. And the 2 songs that you can consider maybe out of place or just not up to the same level, they're fucking role players. But let me tell you, they're winning the chip at the end of this day, and they're not far off from a good score. So it's a 10 for me. I couldn't give it anything lower, even if I tried.
Brooklyn?
Oh, you're gonna be a fucking scumbag at the end, Barr. No, Barr is. I already see it.
So because of the arrangement, I initially had it knocked down, but because I like looked at it and I'm like, okay, moving out kind of makes sense. I think that's kind of a question for everybody. Like, what do you think should be the opener if the Stranger's moving out? It's a 10. Sure, the last 2 songs are not the other 7, but they're not bad. They're not bad. My least favorite is Get It Right the First Time. It's just like I've talked about it before where artists take swings, and I respect it. It wasn't like a home run, but I think it was like maybe a double down the first base line.
What song was that?
Get It Right the First Time.
Yeah.
My favorite. Fuck, man, that's actually hard.
Good luck.
I'm gonna say moving out.
Oh,
Scenes is great, but I love the opening of Moving Out, and then I love the transition, like the car screech, and that like there's a lot to kind of play with in that song.
I want to just reiterate because I didn't get it right the first time would be the lowest on the album for me, but overall, I'm 100%. Guy hits a leadoff double. There's home runs across the board. He's still getting a run in regardless. And I would honestly put probably Vienna as my favorite song from the album because I think it's the most relevant to this day. But let me tell you, there ain't a lot of songs that hit harder than Only Good Die Young. If you're in need of move, pick me up. All right, Barr, be an asshole. Go ahead.
It's a 9.75.
You
slut.
I'm sorry. Look, that's 7.
It's like when he fell asleep during The Godfather and knocked him down the house.
That run of 7 is all-timer. End it there. End it with at that 7. And this would
because I think the end song is great.
It's my least favorite song. Everybody Has a Dream, to me, was the moment that it was this close to crossing the finish line, and it fell flat on its face.
Can I give it 10.25 to offset that fucking 0.5, 0.25?
Hey, look, the rule is it can go up to 10. So, no.
Could you just give it a 9.95?
No. Because the last 2 songs are nowhere near as good as that 7 run. But Everybody Has a Dream hit cheese at the end. Like, it felt like the opening theme song for a cheesy 70s drama that would only pop up on Me TV. I'm sorry. That song didn't do it for me.
You know who I think loves Everybody Has a Dream, and who it reminded me of? It reminded me of like Joe Cocker, like that, like gospel.
And Joe Cocker would have done that song so much better.
Soul. I don't think so.
Oh, 100% Joe Cocker would have done that song a lot better.
Barr, I need your address.
Have you heard?
You're going to be moving out.
Have you heard his version of With a Little Help from My Friends? That's this song, but better.
Joe Cocker does every Beatles song better. That's just a fact. And then we'll just.
Joe Cocker's the king of covers. He's the cover king. So 9.75. Turnstiles is better. Brooklyn.
That's not even true.
Yes, it is.
Turnstiles doesn't even believe that shit. Like, your favorite song could be on Turnstiles, and it's not a better album. That's the problem that you're arguing.
Turnstile has James, Miami 2017, New York State of Mind.
Congratulations, you're listening to a bunch of songs on the album. That is correct. None of them can wipe the ass of Vienna or Scenes from an Italian Restaurant or...
I still think Summer Highland Falls is his best song, personally.
That's not true.
Cody, let me add him for 1 second here. While Turnstiles has some of Billy Joel's best songs, it has one major flaw. You think about every Billy Joel concert that has existed. What does he open with? Prelude / Angry Young Man. And it doesn't even open this fucking album. If that opens this album, then you have argument.
It's 8 songs on Turnstile, and there's not a 7-song run in Turnstiles.
Okay.
That's
New York's like New York State of Mind is like when you want to. I don't know if you want to say like impress Billy Joel, but if you want to learn any of his piano riffs, you learn New York State of Mind. I love Miami.
I'll wipe my ass with it.
I think it's one of his better closers. But I couldn't tell you how All You Want to Do Is Dance. I mean, like, mind you, I didn't listen to this album in a while, but I couldn't tell you how All You Want to Do Is Dance goes, or I couldn't tell you how.
That's the 1 week song on that album. That's
so wait, there are 9 songs.
That's
on
1 week song as opposed to 2.
There's 9 songs on The Stranger. 9 songs on The Stranger. 2 bad songs. That makes 7. There's a bad song on 8 songs, and there's not a
7. This is the exact same score.
You gave that the same score as The Stranger?
I give this the exact same score as The Stranger.
You don't like Billy Joel. That's the problem.
Also, Brooklyn, despite your point about Prelude, Angry Young Man, it opens with "Say Goodbye to Hollywood."
Prelude. So then why
Prelude, Angry Man should have opened that album. Why doesn't he
open his concert? Why doesn't he open his concerts with "Say Goodbye to Hollywood"?
Because what better way to open a concert than with that rolling piano line? But
open an album with that too.
And open the.
Oh my
You
God.
literally just nitpicked it at the beginning.
I know I get a lot of shit for my music taste, but
You talk out both sides of your mouth. You're telling me that the Hall of Fame 7 for 7 just ended there, and then you literally say there's something that breaks up your run in the turnstiles,
right,
and then you're saying
in the middle,
9.7 to 5.
In the
Yeah, you know what's worse? You know what's worse?
Beginning.
You know what's worse is in the middle of the fucking break than at the very fucking end of the break.
No, falling flat in your face at the end of
What's the last
like
song? What's the last song before it falls off for you?
What, for a Stranger?
She's Always a Woman, right?
Yeah.
How the fuck couldn't you just stop it at that point and still get the same quality? You're telling me you're saying there. How many perfect albums do you gatekeep fucking movies? You gatekeep fucking albums, and your favorite artist is Peter Gabriel. You're literally a scumbag.
And Peter Gabriel does not have a perfect album.
What the fuck?
Okay,
I want to go home.
I have given 4 perfect scores on this show.
I'm in a lead corner. I'm in a lead corner.
I want to go home.
This is my show right now. First off, score 9.9166. It does not beat Rumors as the best album that we've reviewed.
Who brought Rumors?
You did.
And who's the asshole who kept Rumors from
fucking Jordan here, baby. I am the Jordan of Roundtable.
And
all I do is fucking win.
Cody's albums from being perfect.
No, you're fucking Chris Anderson, Bird fan. You're just happy to get a fucking ring at the end of the day. You are useless on the basketball. You have 2 of the bottom of this season.
I want to talk about...
In the first season, I had 3 of the top 5.
How does this get into the Hall of Fame?
Just wait. Wait 1 second. Because before The Stranger got submitted, albums of his that I was considering submitting, because I don't think we can really do Billy Joel for a while now. 52nd Street, I think that one has some stuff to explore. Street Life Serenade, there's a couple B-sides in that I adore. Then if we're talking live, if we had a live album episode, I would bring on live at Shea Stadium. That
Sleeping
is
on Captain Jack.
One of my favorite live albums ever. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
I just want to say I get it. But Cold Spring Harbor, his first album, is fire.
I'll never forget being in Andrew's apartment and listening to that on vinyl. It's a core memory.
I have
so good.
I have Turnstiles, I have Cold Spring Harbor, I have Glass Houses, I have 52nd Street, I have The Stranger.
Yeah, and your probably favorite one is Uptown Girl, so get the fuck out of my face. Why don't you go keep the faith, you son of a bitch?
The LeBron James of keeping Cody from getting perfect scores.
You know what, guys?
What was Rumors?
The deep end.
I'm the one who gave it the lowest score. I'm the one who kept it from getting all 10s.
No. There was 2 of you. There was somebody who had it. No, I gave it a 9.8.
Oh, okay. I think I gave it like a 9.8 as well.
Yeah, I also
you guys shouldn't be allowed to listen to these anymore. You guys just shouldn't be allowed to listen to them anymore. What are your 4 albums that you think are perfect, Barr?
That I've rated on this show as perfect?
Fine, whatever. Yes.
Hounds of Love by Kate Bush.
Slut. Go ahead.
In Rainbows by Radiohead.
Oh, killed.
Post by Björk. And Days of Futures Past by the Moody Blues.
I don't want to be here anymore.
All right.
This dude brought on Mr. Understood and gave it an 8 point something. And
I just gave it an 8. A flat 8.
The 2 songs at the end of The Stranger are better than every song. Every song on Mr. Understood.
No, it is not better than Mr.'s Name Music. It is not better than the title track. It is not better than Record Year.
No, it is. It 100% is.
All right, so we're going to go around saying what the best album brought by somebody else. This includes the audience album. Cody, let's go to you first.
So I can't pick mine.
You cannot pick yours.
Oh, then Brooklyn by a large margin.
All right. So home in Halifax. Brooklyn, as if I didn't know.
It's a stranger. I'm about to bold it. You wouldn't. No, you're not. No, you're not. Andrew.
You know what? Your most consistent host is not coming back.
No, it's a stranger.
It has to.
I will literally be drop out like 20 minutes before the show next time if that didn't happen.
No, it's the
imagine if Kirk was here. How long would this episode have been? We would be approaching.
I would have dialed some of my stuff back.
I would have dialed my stuff back as well.
I was letting us cook because I knew we had to fill time, and I went a little too hard.
But if there could only be 3 people on, like this is
one of the best discussions we've had. I wish like some roundtables did this, so I think it was good.
Yeah,
I need to get on Roundtable soon. I have a movie that I want to submit.
Yeah, I'd love to get back on it at some point as well. Actually,
denied.
So
Brooklyn
agreed. With that, the first
Cody's
Hall of Fame album in almost a year, actually, I think.
Since sports.
Since sports.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Cody. You got an album into the Hall of Fame. You finally did it. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you actually being here and showing up. And for basically giving us the idea for this show.
Yeah. I'm the creative director. That's what I do.
With that, we are already like 2.25 hours into this. So
I want to see Cody's reaction to the albums for next episode.
Yes, because next episode, we have Jeff Varyu and Jeremy Potters.
Oh, I'm glad I'm not on that episode.
Yeah, baby.
Just wait till you hear the albums.
The audience album by a landslide, essentially, is Violator by Depeche Mode. And the other, you've definitely heard one of those songs. I promise you. The other albums, this is crazy. Hypnotized by System of a Down. Casualties of Cool by Casualties of Cool. Permission to Land by The Darkness. And Sing the Sorrow by AFI. What a rock-oriented episode y'all are.
That's why I knew I'm so glad I'm not on.
Having Cody listen to System of a Down and AFI would have been money. But thank you all for watching. Thank you, Cody, for joining us. Brooklyn, any last thoughts?
Nope. This is one of my most fun episodes that we've had. This is a lot of fun.
So with that, y'all, thanks for watching. Tune in next month. Keep on rocking.
Drive safe. Wreck your car.